have you heard of the Estes method? So basically, this was something that was created at the Stanley Hotel, which is in Estes Park, Colorado. The group that runs the paranormal group there came up with this method, so they call it the Estes method. And I first found out about it when I saw Greg and Dana Newkirk. I think they did some Facebook Live videos or some videos on their Paranormal Museum website where they were using this method. And so I'd heard about it and I'd seen about it. I'd never actually tried it. Last week at the Mount Washington Hotel, we had a group going on. One of the rooms that we were investigating was the Princess Room, the room that is supposedly haunted by Princess Carolyn. And Ty Gowan from Haunt Me was staying in that room. So he was saying that while they were doing some investigating in there, they were trying the Estes method. And he said, if you want to come and try it in the room afterwards, when the investigation's over, because he was sleeping there. So he's like, if you want to come and do some investigating in there and we'll try that. I said, absolutely, 100%. So we went back in there. Now, what this involves is you take a pair of headphones, preferably like noise-canceling headphones. You put on a blindfold, and you put on the headphones. And you plug the headphones into a spirit box, an SB7. And then the idea is for the investigators to ask you questions. And then you go back and you just, the person that's underneath the blindfold and wearing the headphones, you just say whatever you're hearing come over the box. Okay. So you can't hear the questions. You can't see the people talking to you. You're just kind of in this mode of only being able to hear what's coming across the box, and you're just repeating the words as you hear them. So you have no idea what people are asking you and if any of this fits in, and it eliminates that bias of asking a question and then trying to hear an answer that fits the question that you asked.
So it's like a double blind test.
Exactly. And so
because then they can also hear what the words are that are coming through and develop questions that are
right.
Even subconsciously. Gotcha.
And so it's very intriguing, and they were getting great results with it. So I went into the room, and there was probably about 6 or 7 of us in the room, and I brought in my headphones, and when I tried to plug it into Ty's spirit box, it didn't, his SB7. I could still hear them asking the questions because it just, the SB7 just has a terrible, terrible speaker.
Right.
So I could still hear everything that was going on. I don't know how Ty was able to get his up so loud. Well, he was using earbuds, so that probably helped. I wasn't going to put his earbuds in my ear because that's just, not that he's unclean, but you just don't share earbuds with people.
Yeah, and you don't know if someone's
that's how ear infections happen. So I said, you know what? Let me try and see if I can plug in my headphones into my Echo Vox on my phone. And it worked. And so I was actually able to block out everybody else, and only because the Echo Vox goes really loud. And so I could only hear that. So I'm sitting there on the couch in the Princess Room with my back to the door. And anybody that knows me knows I never sit with my back to a door in a room. But I had my back to the door. And I put myself into the blindfold and under the headphones, and I start asking, I start saying whatever it's coming out over the Echo Vox. And they're asking me the questions that I can't hear. But I felt like I was taken out of the room and I was somewhere else. I was in a hallway, a dark hallway, and instead of like these voices just coming at me, it's almost like I could see people peering around peering out the doorways of this hallway, saying these syllables to me. And at one point I heard somebody banging on the door to the room that never actually happened. I felt like people were standing over me, whispering at me. Stephanie and Alicia, I thought they were whispering at me, and that never happened. So there was like all these weird things that were going on while I was underneath, and I was really freaking everybody out because I would actually like kind of physically move my head to see like where voices were coming from, because it's very spatially strange, and I was like getting really close to people without even realizing it, and very nuts. So, and there was a couple of times that I really wanted to just take it off because it was getting to be too much for me. I thought I was going to go insane. But I kept it on because Ty didn't take it off when he did it, so I wasn't going to take it off when I did it either,
Yeah.
Being
what's your sanity?
Yeah. So, but it was just very strange, and I don't know like really how much of it was jibing with what they were asking, but it freaked me out. So what I was thinking is that maybe tonight, because we are YouTube only, so it's not a big deal if we have some dead air here. I thought is maybe I would try it tonight because the radio station here is haunted. For anybody that doesn't know, we have there are multiple spirits that are in this building, former employees that are still here, and just some other stuff that Stephanie has picked up on, and that we have sat here after the show and seen shadow figures walking by the door to the studio. And for those of you watching on the camera, if you can see me now, there's a room behind me, and that room has a light in it that is motion activated, so it comes on when people go into that room. And we actually watched a shadow figure walk by the window of the door to the studio and then go into that room, and then the light came on. So whatever it was solid enough to turn the light on, but when it came on, there was nobody in there. So there is definitely stuff happening in this station.
And
so
you've got that weird camera thing that happens even though you use different cameras.
What's that?
You have almost this like sonic boom that happens sometimes in your camera.
We do?
It first happened when Jill's doll was in there, when Claire the doll was in there.
Right.
And it's happened, I see it at least once a show. So even if it's on different cameras, it still does this. It feels like the way they visually represent a sonic boom on television.
Very strange. So I brought my Sony noise-canceling headphones, and I have my phone. It's been charging up the whole time. And I forgot to bring a bandana to use to blindfold myself, but we have some T-shirts hanging around here. So I grabbed a black T-shirt, and I'm going to tie this around my head, and I'm going to put myself under on the Echo Vox, and you and Matt Costa can ask the questions, and I will just go and answer. I will say whatever's coming across on the Echo Vox, and that's how we'll do this. And we'll see if it works. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't work, at least we tried it, and it's okay because it was only YouTube. It wasn't a real episode.
Right.
So hang on, because I'm going to... for those of you who don't know what Echo Vox is, and you must not listen to the show ever, it is it has all the phonetics of human speech programmed into different banks, and it just sweeps through those banks over and over again. So it's not spitting out whole words, it's spitting out just phonetic pieces, but then the spirits can supposedly use those phonetic speeches to form whole words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my phone into airplane mode so that I don't get any stray signals going across. I'm going to just close out all my open alerts so I can show everybody. So as you can see, my phone is in airplane mode, and I'm going to open up Echo Vox. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you're aware of this, Matt. There's an Iron Maiden game.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
I can't play it. I'm terrible at it, but it's there. Okay. So Echo Vox, and I'm going to call this Studio Experiment so that I have the recording. And what we can do is we can probably upload this audio later on to our YouTube channel so people can hear the audio that I heard at the time.
Oh,
and see. So Studio Experiment.
This is fun.
So I turned on the Echo. I am auto blending. I should have on the reverb. Yes. And so I'm going to start it. And I have the audio up so that everybody can hear that it's running, and I'm going to show on the screen that the Echo Vox is running, and I'm going to make it as slow as I can because it's still going to come out really fast. So I've done that. All right. Now I got to put myself under here. And take those headphones off. Take my glasses off. I don't know why I'm narrating this for a radio audience, because the only people that are watching this, I guess maybe the people on the podcast later.
Right.
So I'm gonna let me plug in my headphones to my phone first and turn them on.
Well, also so that you can duplicate the experiment at a further time, because you've got all.
I'm also gonna turn down these headphones so that I can't hear anything out of that. All right, so here's the sound that's coming out of my headphones. So and I'm going to turn on the sound noise canceling. Turn on the noise canceling. This side. So the noise canceling is on the headphones. So those are going to be right there. I don't know if I can actually tie this physically. Yeah, I can.
This is a great look for you. You should do the show like this every day.
I feel like I could just go like rob something right now. Okay, so I can't see, but I can still get it over my ears, so I can get the headphones on. All right, I'm going under, and I'm just going to start saying whatever I hear. All right, Matt, ask me a question to see if I can hear you.
First question, brother.
So
I can't hear you, and I definitely can't hear Chris because I don't have on those headphones. So I'm sorry if I yell, but I can't modulate myself.
So I'm asking, like we're doing an EVP session?
I
Is
hope.
what we're doing?
So just go ahead and ask questions, and I'm going to just spit out whatever I hear.
Okay. Are there any spirits
see if
here?
I can turn it up a little. Walk.
Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi.
Okay.
Can you see us in the studio?
Breakfast. Actual.
Is there someone you want to talk to?
Act.
Is there someone you want to make contact with?
It will. Beautiful.
Were you an employee here?
No. Door slamming.
That's interesting.
Oh, what was that? Murder.
Is there something that happened in the studio to you?
Spooky. Spooky. Chris.
How long have you been there?
Two tapping sounds. Chris.
Are you looking for me?
Business. Bitch.
Are you looking for one of the hosts that work here?
Is there a message that you have for
Now it
someone?
keeps going, but I'm only saying when I can actually pick out something.
Is there someone you want to talk to?
Out.
Is there something we can do for you?
Walls.
How long have you been here?
Hurry. What?
Can
What
you
was that?
see
Hold on,
us?
repeat that. Help.
Do you know our names? Can you tell us your name?
Beth. Lying. Think.
Where are you from?
Best.
Can you tell us your hometown?
We can something. Skins. Frightened.
Is there something that's frightening you?
You hear me?
We can hear
Wait.
you.
Amen. Paranormal.
Are you here all the time?
I tried, but it's hard. Bitch. Whoa, that was weird.
Is there something that we can do for you?
On fire.
Do you like that we are here?
All right, I'm going to take them off. How'd that go?
I feel like there was a couple hits.
Yeah, there was definitely
know.
some things there that were...
There's something,
You
a couple weird things.
What were you experiencing that you were responding to, though, Tim?
Well, what I was getting a lot of is sounds, which is weird because it's just supposed to be phonetic speech. But I was getting a lot of sounds of there was a time where I said like two banging sounds or two tapping sounds. It was like two like sounds. There was also a sound too that sounded like almost like the sound effect you would hear in a movie when somebody's getting stabbed, like that. You know, like the Psycho.
Yeah.
Like I heard that a couple of times. But generally, it was just a lot of words. See, the problem with the Echo Vox is it's hard to get it so that you get it at a good speed, so that the words are coming out, so that you can hear them, but also like fast enough that you can understand, slow enough that you can understand them.
Yeah.
So that takes a little bit of work. And I know, like with an SB7, it's different because you're getting the radio stuff, so you're getting like more complete phrases. But I also feel I feel like Echo Vox is better to use than Spirit Boxes because of that reason, because you're getting just phonetic sounds, so you're not misinterpreting entire phrases that you're hearing on the radio.
Right. Were you saying the name Beth?
Beth. I heard the name Beth twice.
Okay. And were you calling out to me, or were they saying the name Chris?
No, they were saying your name. They said your name, I think 3 times.
Okay.
So I will go back and I will watch and see what it said, but we can also take I'm trying to read the chat room and I can't get my eyes to adjust now from being underneath that.
Yeah, there was definitely some interesting things there, and it was an interesting experiment in that, we didn't know when to necessarily continue the conversation or let the names, let the sounds write out and wait for you.
Yeah, you should just have been asking questions, and I'm giving you the answers.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is like how long to wait for the response. You know,
right. Especially where you like as I'm sitting there listening, trying to make out words, like you're probably like, all right, now he's just not saying anything. But you probably
thought you were ignoring us.
Yeah, I technically am because I can't hear you. But
right.
It's certainly something I recommend giving it a try. Like look more into it and give it a try. When you're somewhere where you feel comfortable doing it. I felt very uncomfortable doing it in the princess room, but doing it here, I felt okay. And part of that could be that was a place that I'm not familiar with, and this is a place that I spend way too much time in every week anyway. So I do feel comfortable here. So I think that might have been part of it.
Yeah, I mean, there was actually a part of me that expected you to show up at my house. Like you had somehow, because you were talking about leaving and stuff like that. I think that that sensory deprivation and just completely in on that vibe allows for things like astral projection. So I was half waiting to see you in my room here.
Yeah, I would not have been surprised that, I think that if I had done it without being in the confines of putting on the show, I might have let myself go a little bit more. But I think I just kind of stayed grounded, knowing that because in the back of my mind, like, there's always make sure that when you talk that you are pointing toward the microphone. Where did that bug come from? A bug just flew.
It's weird.
At me. I wonder if it came from that shirt. It's been sitting over there for a while. But that is definitely the in your mind the whole time, is as you're going through this, you're thinking to yourself, like, I could easily be separated from myself at any given moment here.